I'm Kiara. My channel is all about living a more productive lifestyle, setting goals, and logging my progress on working to achieve them. That's what my 30-day habit series is all about. That's basically what my off-the-shelf series is all about. I'm gonna be honest, not all of my habits are super productive or life-changing or important, really. I have some silly habits, and I thought that I might share some of them with you. So I have some silly goals marked down in my journal for the next month or so, based on different events that are happening in the next few weeks. And I literally marked them out as silly goals. My first goal is to catch up on the series Black Lightning. I just found out that it's going to be part of the Arrowverse crossover on December 8th, and I really love Black Lightning, but unfortunately the only show that I'm up to date with in the Arrowverse is The Flash. And I don't want to be spoiled for anything with Black Lightning, and I'm also just really excited to see how they kind of weave that together. So I want to catch up on that. I was watching it consistently up through season 2, but I got behind in the middle of season 2, and so I said I would go and catch up when it was on Netflix. Never did. So I just started rewatching it again today. Not rewatching. I just started catching up on it today on Netflix. I'm almost done. I got like 3 episodes of season 2, so then I just have to make sure that I can watch the new episodes on the CW app before the 8th of December. On a related note, I kind of want to try reading the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic book. It's written by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, who wrote the New Teen Titans comics in the 80s, and that's like my favorite. I actually collect them. They're on my wall. And I've always been kind of intimidated about reading that story just because I know how it takes in like the whole DC universe, and I don't feel versed enough to try and sort all of that out. But I mean, I love the New Teen Titans, and it seems like the perfect time because it's actually being put on camera, and I want to be in the loop with all the little ways that they're tying things into it. And they're bringing in so many cool actors for the Arrowverse crossover, so I want to be caught up. Number 3, I want to finish this guy over here. Can you see? Yeah, I want to finish this guy over here. Fables Volume 10. So Fables is like one of, or my actual favorite comic book, like my favorite Western comic book. It was Volume 1, I think, was probably my first Western, you saw Witch, but like, like my first adult American regular comic book that I ever read. My sister bought it for me when I went to my first comic book shop. And I've never actually finished the entire series. I'm only on Volume 10 because I could never get my hand on all the books. But I live really close to a library now. My town didn't have a library growing up. So I live close to a library, so I'm renting this out, and I've had it for way too long. Thank goodness my library doesn't have any late fees, so you can just keep renewing and renewing and renewing. But I feel bad, and I need to return this, and I just need to finish it. I'm like halfway through, so gotta finish this. Great read if you're ever looking for some cool comic book to read. It's like all the fairy tales that you know of, like all European fairy tales are living in New York, but there's also a whole expanded homelands where they're from, which has fairy tales from like the Arabian Nights, and yeah, it's good. Just read it. Next, so kind of on the same note, again, everything's related on this. Number 4, I want to read the comic book Snow Glass Apples, and then I also want to reread Fables number 1. And this is because I'm part of a comic book group that we do a monthly book club and also some other events. And next month in December, we're going to be reading Fables Volume 1. I'm so excited. I have been recommending it to the group for so long. And with that fairy tale vibe, we're also going to be reading, what was it called? Snow Apple Blood? Fairy something? Snow Glass Apples, which I think they said it was written by Neil Gaiman. I could totally be wrong with that. I'll write it down somewhere what it is in case you want to read it too. So I need to read that Snow Glass Blood and Fables Volume 1 by like mid-December. That way I can be prepared for the comic book meetup. I am so excited for everybody to read Fables and I can talk about, oh my gosh, talk about snow and Bigby, and you really should read this book because it's so great. It's like one of the Vertigo, which DC just got rid of. It's like one of the Vertigo frontrunners, I think. Anyway, kind of got it on its feet. And then, last but not least, I'll put this down. I want to learn how to play this game, Betrayal Legacy. So this is the legacy version of a game that's called Betrayal on House on the Hill. I think I always want to say Hill House, like that TV show, but no. Betrayal on House on the Hill. And I had never heard of a legacy game before. Somebody at work recommended it to me. He was playing Pandemic Legacy, which I also want to play, but this has more players. I do a monthly game night with my friends. I host it here at my apartment, and so I thought this would be a fun game for us to like work through. Because a legacy game means that we only play this game one time. I bought this, and I'm only going to play it once. But that once is over the course of 13 months, because we only meet once a month. There are 13 sessions in here, so it's kind of like a TV show with 13 episodes. You throw away cards, you add stickers, like you destroy the board, and it seems really, really fun, but we tried to play it last night, and it was so hard. We could not figure it out. We made it through the first round, and then we were gonna play a second round just to kind of like stick into our brains what we were supposed to do. We could not find any of the tokens. Like the omen tokens were so confusing to us. And then on the second round, it basically just told us like the story, oh, you come up to this house, somebody throws a rock at you, and then the person who throws a rock has the first round. We don't even know what a round is. In the last one, there was a haunting, and the round was like us fighting and trying to figure out who the witch was. But in this one, it literally said that there's no haunting. So it's like, do we just attack each other for no reason? Because like last time we were losing our sanity because there was like a spell. But this time, we just have no freaking idea like, how to even have a round of this game. Like what is a level? Like, do you just move from room to room? We have no freaking idea. So I am going to like watch a bunch of YouTube videos on people playing this game, and I'm gonna read through the entire rulebook just to try and figure out how the hell this game works, because I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't that cheap to pay for this game. I figured it was an investment that's worth it, and I still hope so and think that it is, because I'm really passionate about our game nights and I want everyone to keep coming, and I feel like if I have a really boring game, they won't want to keep coming. So those are my 5 goals for the next month. Sometime in December, I'll tell you what progress I made on these, and maybe I'll have some other stupid goals for that. I'll probably have some significant goals for that because I'm going on a trip at the end of December, and those goals will probably be things like packing, getting a coat for the winter, and other significant things. But yeah, this is a quick one. Thank you for watching. This is Kiara saying bye. That's my cool little thing that I do.